There's a part of me that wants me to tell you, just turn around, run away from all this, and then there's another part of me that knows what we're about to fight. What's at stake?
Let's talk some Tom Holland. How would you describe the dynamic on set between the two of you?
Man, it was just really nice. I mean, I there's an appropriate amount of adoration on both sides. He has a tremendous amount of experience in this world and with the character. He's so fantastic in it. And I have such respect for him as Spider-Man and all the work he does, and also a real respect for his work ethic. In the opposite way, I think has seen work I've done and really like admired it, and has the appropriate amount of deference for the narcissistic ego of an actor, being me, and so that made a nice balance.
So you appreciated that.
No, I just love him. He's just a good dude. He's open, super gullible.
Did you do anything to to antagonize him a little bit?
I constantly do things to antagonize him. Like it's just great.
What is your favorite? Give us
like physically
example.
just scaring him, like frightening him sort of a little bit.
Yeah, a little intimidation factor. Right?
It's just fun. It's like so many people are like it's his age. A lot of people are telling him how great he is and all this stuff, and he just needs a little bit of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how much did you know about Mysterio prior to this opportunity coming about? Were you into the comics at all?
I didn't know Mysterio well at all. What I like about him is that he's a little bit more obscure. So when they came to me and they were talking about the role and the things that they wanted to do, because he was originally an antagonist and really a villain in the comics, and then in the movie they wanted to flip that on its head and make him a real hero in this, which I think actually does work very well with the kind of character that he is, and I think he teams up with Spider-Man in the coolest ways in this, and I dug it. I really dug it.
Well, we know that Tom only gets select parts of the script, select secrets from Mr. Feige.
Well, he's in his early 20s, so it's just silly appropriate.
But they laid it all out for you. They trusted you with
the
inside intel.
Yes, as you'll find out, there's reasons for that. There would be very hard for me to play this character without knowing a lot of the details of those stories.
Yeah. How much of the appeal had to do with that sweet costume?
I didn't know how much I was gonna love it. I fell deeply in love with that suit. And the other day we put it back on for some press stuff we were doing, and the sweet feeling of tight spandex.
Looks a little on the heavy side. Is it? It's got to add a few pounds.
It is. The chest plate itself attaches to these metal prongs that I have to put on, and then the cape attaches to that, and then inevitably there are these electric drills that they have to drill into the chest plates, and it's a full wool cape, like proper Game of Thrones ×4. Yeah, with light battery packs. And there are a number of people when they're walking behind you do really, it's like wearing a ball gown. They sort of grab your back, you're all of a sudden choked by this.
Right.
So you have to watch who's behind you. You don't want any part of this.
Mysterio does quite a bit of flying around, mostly with his helmet on. Are you doing any of those stunts where you're not seen, or are you just letting the stuntman handle those for the most part?
Oh, I do know how to fly.
You do know how to fly.
I did a majority of the flying scenes. It's actually kind of funny. There is a scene in the movie where I was hanging by wires, and it took a really long time, and that day I was actually really sick on set. And it's a scene where I fly up to Peter, and we're on the roof of a building. It takes basically full core strength on these wires. I was just swinging about in this super creepy way and trying to talk to Peter with wisdom, but wisdom goes away pretty quickly when you're floating like that.
And you're just swaying back.
And then they covered my face with the mask.
So you're it could have been.
Well, it might have just been because I was trying to be cool, but I was probably hey Peter, it's really cool. And they said to cover my face. So yeah, I do a lot of my own floating. You just don't see it.
Both director John Watts and Tom Holland actually told us recently that you channeled Robert Downey Jr. Is this true? Can you talk about this?
So that's what they said?
Both of them said.
Before Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man, I was channeling Robert Downey Jr. generally always. I think there are inspirations, yeah.
But it sounds like it wasn't super conscious.
There were a few moments that were conscious. There are aspects in the relationship in this movie that are very similar to the ones with Peter Parker, Tony Stark in the last Spider-Man. Except this is an evolution, and Tom talks about it a lot, from kind of father-son dynamic to sort of more brotherly, but I would say maybe uncle.
Yeah.
I'd age it up a little bit. Yeah, so I watched that relationship. That was a really important relationship for me to watch, particularly in Homecoming, because there were things he does and says, and there were parts of that relationship that really I think were important for me to see.